The following podcast contains jokes and laughter, but we want to make it clear the humor is never at the expense of the victims or the tragedies discussed. If you enjoy a blend of comedy and true crime, you found your podcast. However, if you're easily offended, this might not be the right fit for you, and that's perfectly okay. Listener discretion is advised. Welcome back to another episode of Melanin Mysteries, where the tea is always hot, the cases stay cold, and the vibes, y'all already know they're unmatched. So today's story has school drama, suspicious behavior, and one person who clearly missed the don't get caught acting brand new memo. Big shout out to our listener DeWitt for sliding this one our way. You really came through with the mess. So grab your snacks and your side eyes because this case will have you asking, now who thought this was a good idea? Now let's get into it. I'm your host, Tiffany.
And I'm your host, Willie. Let's go ahead and get it. All right, here we go. So it's another hot air day in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. You leave your office and you see a little girl. She can't be any older than 3 or 4 years old, and she barefooted and alone, holding a pillow. So you cautiously approach the baby and ask, like, "Damn, where your mama, where your daddy at?" You notice there is something red on her foot. It looks like it's blood, but you ain't really sure or whatever. So you ain't gonna make no assumptions. You immediately call 911. While on the phone with the dispatcher, after you explain why they need to send someone, you ask the baby again, like, "Where's your mom at?" And she leads you over to a car. You could tell that some shit done went down and the police need to get here immediately. The car looks trash and there's blood everywhere, all inside the car. You ask the baby her age and she tells you she is 3 years old. She says that her mommy was sleeping and that Mr. Robbie, keep that name in mind, did it. The dispatcher tells you they are getting police there as quickly as they can.
Now, off topic for just a second. So when they showed they showed the inside of her car, all I could think was, man, if they find me missing, I need to put a note in my car like, look, this is all my kids. You can tell that woman had a kid because you know how kids will dog your car.
This car is not a reflection of who I am.
It's really not. And I was just like, oh my God, if they find me to my car today, I told my kids, I was like, hey, y'all need to go ahead and clean out the back seat of my car. Cause yeah, they were looking at me like, what? Don't just go clean out the back of my car. But anyway, Lyntell Washington, she was born October 28th, 1975 in New Orleans, Louisiana to her parents, Calvin and Margie Washington. She has an identical twin sister, Centel, and her nickname growing up was Puffy. She was a well-respected middle school teacher at Brookstown Magnet Middle School. She was described as loving and had a caring heart and a personality that would light up a room. But she had absolute horrible luck with men. Like they said, like Lyntell's it was like she just had the craziest stories. Like, we all have it bad, but they said hers were
I was
crazy.
bad as hell, huh?
So she had been married, she was divorced, and then she met Darren Glasper. So they had met at a family barbecue, and Lyntell, like they told her that she was unable to have children. So imagine her surprise when she finds out that she's pregnant with a baby girl.
Okay.
So blessing. Unfortunately, Lyntell and Darren, they broke up when she was about 8 months pregnant. Darren had a drug and alcohol addiction, so she had to let that go. And Lyntell, she raised her baby girl as a single mom. So, life is good, but she still struggled with dating and finding someone who was worth her time. So her friends agreed that dating was hard, but they mentioned how crazy of a time, like we said, she was having with men. And then she meets Robert Marks.
Okay, and just side note, in case y'all think about dating, we did just have a wonderful panel, a relationship panel. So make sure you guys check it out. It will be on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. But anyway, Robert Javante Marks was born December of 1976. So unfortunately, we really don't got that much information on him or his parents, even his upbringing. But he did marry Kayla Lorraine Nelson on November 16, 2011. She was beautiful too. Fine little light skinned thing. Robert was also the assistant principal at the same middle school as Lyntell. He and his wife Kayla had 2 kids. Robert also had a PhD behind his name in education. So that brother was pretty accomplished. You know what I'm saying? Very smart man. Very smart man.
So we think. So
Oh.
now, mind you, we didn't mention that Robert and Kayla were divorced. We just said married. Right.
Remember that.
So Robert and Lyntell, they started working at the middle school around the same time. And when Robert laid eyes on Lyntell, he just could not deny her beauty or her personality. But Lyntell was not interested. And I don't know, he must have pulled a Steve Urkel and he wore her ass down. So eventually Lyntell would start making like little comments like, oh, Robert, he kind of cute, he kind of handsome. And she and the other assistant principal, Jamisha Pink Fisher, had become like really close. And Jamisha said, Robert, he was a good man, quiet, really smart. He was good with the kids. And she knew he was married, but no one had ever met his wife. Nigga didn't wear no ring and nothing.
Mm.
So when Lyntell mentions that she and Robert, started a relationship, Jamisha So first off, like we mentioned, Robert's still married. And Lyntell also knows that she has to keep the relationship a secret. At least until Robert is able to get his divorce from his wife, because you know how men do. They tell you, I'm just not happy at home and we're going to get a divorce. I'm just trying to figure out a way. I don't want to leave her with these kids. You know how they be telling
Now
you.
hold on, wait. Wait. She just as guilty because at the end of the day, regardless of what he's saying, if he's still with her, nigga, they're still together. And if she decides to mess with him, that's her. You can't just blame. You can't say, "Oh, niggas, like it's just us."
No, I'm just saying the story that they give you when they be like, oh, my marriage is just, we're at the end. I'm getting a divorce. I promise I am.
We be thinking that sometimes.
Yeah, y'all don't be thinking that shit.
Okay.
So Robert and Kate, well, according to Robert, rather, him and Kayla were separated. Sis probably didn't get that memo, but according to Robert, they were separated. But he said that they lived in the same house, but he lived on one floor and Kayla lived on another floor. So Robert, he's dating Lyntell. He pursued her. He's whining and dining her. And he's doing all the things like a man does that he, for a woman that he really wants. So Lyntell, she tells Jamisha, like, whenever she calls Robert, no matter what time of the day or night, this man is always available. He never rushes her off the phone. Like, married men would, what you would assume a married man does. And she felt like she finally had a good man that loved her. So, the relationship goes on. Robert meets Lyntell's daughter, and they're making plans for forever. And one more time, Lyntell has another miracle pregnancy. So she's overjoyed. Because again, this is a woman who was told she could never have kids, and now she's been blessed with two.
Man, I sue them goddamn doctors. Two of them. Them doctors didn't know what the hell they were talking about. Just want to throw that out there. My bad.
But when God always got the last say, so it don't matter what the doctors say.
Oh, you're right.
They don't have.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Yes. And Robert, he was caught off guard at first, but he was happy. Now, when Lyntell tells Jamisha is like stunned, like jaw on the ground. And Lyntell did mention that she was planning to tell Robert's wife.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Go back to what I was saying. She knew he had a wife or whatever because she wouldn't be trying to if it was the case. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. She wouldn't be trying to tell his wife. So anyway, so let's fast forward, right? We are now at June 9th, 2016, and Leslie Palms, who worked for a medical transport company, comes outside and sees a little girl in the parking lot. Remember what we talked about earlier? She was clutching a pillow and she was barefoot. It's hot and it's humid. Remember, they are in Louisiana, so it's hot than God damn it, hot than Satan nuts out down there. You been there, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God, it's hot as hell, man. Especially in June. Yeah, I was there for a month. Man, hot as hell, bro. Hot. So it's hot and humid. And Beta Rouge, no condition for a small child to be left alone. And especially, so Leslie notices that there are no adults around. And he approaches the baby and asks, like, no, if the parent was around. And she shakes her head no. He immediately calls 911. The little girl does take Leslie to a car where Leslie is on the phone with 911, and Leslie notices that there is blood on the seats all over. So it's looking crazy as hell inside that car. And also the little girl has the blood on her feet, as we mentioned. He tells dispatchers that they may want to speed up the process, right? He get a little nervous, right? Because he's seeing blood. This dude ain't, you know what I'm saying? This dude did not wake up thinking that he about to come to a murder scene. This nigga is not on it whatsoever. So Leslie asked the baby girl if her mom was bleeding, and she said mommy was bleeding from her head and that they were supposed to go to the beach. She said she slept in the car. That's horrible. 3-year-old baby got to go through that. That's traumatic as fuck. So when Baton Rouge police get to the scene, they tape off the scene. They run the plates on the car. It's a blue Toyota Corolla. The plates come back, of course, as Lyntell Washington. Lyntell's purse and keys were still in the vehicle. So Lyntell's apartment wasn't far from where the car was found. No surveillance videos are pulled. And it was like around 11:30 the night before. You can see Lyntell blue Toyota Corolla pull into the parking lot, but they can't make out who's driving the vehicle. So it pulls off cameras, so they can't make out anything after that. So it's crazy. So if you look at the video, you can see the car pull in, and then it back up, and then it take off and literally go in the direction where you cannot see, like there's no view of the camera whatsoever. It's crazy as hell.
So baby girl, she also mentions my mommy has a baby in her belly. Then she says Mr. Robbie put blood there and that my mommy is asleep by a lake. So when Lintel didn't show up for work that day and she wasn't answering her calls, Jamisha goes by her house to check on her because that is not normal. And she notices Lintel's car in the parking lot with all this crime scene tape. And she pulls up to the scene and she's like initially blocked from going any further. But she's like, hey, this is one of my coworkers. This is my employee. I need to know what's going on because I came to check on her. She's missing. What's going on? And as soon as she gets put through, baby girl runs up to her. They briefly question Jamisha on the scene, and baby girl literally tells her like Mr. Robbie did this, and she said she was like shocked for a minute, and then she's like, hold on, Mr. Robbie like that works at the school, and she's like, baby girl's like, yeah. So she tells the police that Lintel was dating Dr. Robert Marks and they should start there. He was the other assistant principal at the school. So they do allow Jamisha to take baby girl home. And she said that when she got the baby home, she immediately got her in a tub and got her cleaned up. And when she got her in the tub, the water was just turning red from all the blood. So by
Mm.
now, Lintell's twin, had got the news that her sister was missing and she had made her way to Baton Rouge from New Orleans. Now, when she got to Jamisha's house, Jamisha said it was like she saw a ghost because they look identical, of course, because they're identical twins. But baby girl even thought that Centel was her actual mommy, and she ran to her, like just checking her over to make sure she was okay and not injured.
Damn, that's horrible, man. That's horrible. So police were immediately on a search to find Littell, and with her being pregnant and in the heat, that was the utmost important because I don't know if y'all know, but down there, like I said, Louisiana be hot as hell, and then you got possibly a body. It just completely it's like they gotta find them as soon as possible. So they use cell phone to try to pinpoint her location. Robert March was immediately brought in for questioning as well. So off top, he admitted that he seen Littell the evening before. He said that he pulled up on her. They had a short conversation about 30 minutes or so before he left, and then he went, they went their separate ways. He was asked if his wife knew about the affair with Littell, and he said no, his wife was unaware of the affair. So he like, look, she don't know shit what was going on, right? Robert said that he was on
Ain't
the
shit ass nigga.
right. I ain't gonna lie. I agree with you on that one. So Robert said that he was on this motorcycle, and when he left the tail, he hopped on his bike and went to a bar and watched the basketball game. He was arrested on the same day in East Baton Rouge Parish and was charged with Lyntell's disappearance. His official charges were aggravated kidnapping and then abandoning a child because remember, the 3-year-old was left there by herself. Friday, which was the next morning, there was a large police presence near Whiskey Bay in Ibersville Parish. They had a dive team out in the river. They had ATVs out. They were on foot in the air. The entire area was remote farmland, sugarcane fields. So, of course, they're looking for the body. They're like, it's around here somewhere. We got to figure this out. We got to find this body. By the time the sun went down, they had no information. They had absolutely no evidence, no Lyntell, no body, and they suspended the search. With no new leads, they had no choice but to blast the media and beg. They begging for help with locating the missing pregnant woman.
So the only witness that was available was the 3-year-old baby. And they did have a forensic investigator come in and interview her. After almost a week, she was asked about what happened to her mommy. And again, she said she heard a big boom and Mr. Robbie left her mommy in the water. This little girl, like at 3, if she can articulate
Three.
all of this, like that's
Yes.
like That's crazy.
Yes.
Very smart little girl. So on June 15th, 2016, a sugarcane worker called police in Ibersville Parish and said he believed he found a badly decomposed body in a drainage ditch and that is probably that missing school teacher. So when police arrived, they get the body, and like we said, due to the heat, it was a mess, flies, maggots, all that all that. So Jamisha, they actually called her at school and they asked her what Lyntell was wearing the day she disappeared. And Jamisha was able to look back at the security cameras and pull footage from the day before she went missing, and the clothing that she had on matched what the body was wearing. So in addition, Lyntell was wearing sandals that day, and there was one sandal still on the body when it was found, and the other sandal was actually left behind in Lyntell's car. Now, that's not an official identification, but they kind of already know what it is.
Exactly. You already know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, but the official coroner's report was still out for a few days, and her family and friends, they were also notified. Her best friend Melissa Mason said that when she was informed, she just fell to the ground. She said they had been friends, but not just friends, but sisters for over 22 years. And Melissa and Jamisha, they had text back and forth for days before the final report came back, and they were just praying that it wasn't Lyntell that was found. But unfortunately it was, and Lyntell had to be identified by dental records, and she had been killed with a single gunshot wound to the head. And at the time, Lyntell was 8 months pregnant with a baby girl that she planned to name Daylin. Now, DNA was also extracted from the baby and was later compared to DNA provided by Robert Marks, and it was in fact a match, and Robert was the father of Lyntell's baby.
You are the father.
Damn, rest in heaven. That shit horrible. So Robert was questioned again after Lyntell's body was found, and they also confronted him with the information that the baby girl provided to the forensic investigator. And of course, the nigga denied all the information. He claimed he had no idea what baby girl was talking about. Like, I don't know what that little girl talking about. I didn't do shit. They didn't even want to hear none of that shit.
They said, we don't believe you. You need more
we
people.
need more people, yes. So his charge was actually upgraded to first-degree murder and first-degree feticide for the death of the unborn baby, along with aggravated kidnapping and abandonment of a child. So they about to stroke this nigga. So look, even though Robert so-called had an alibi, he told detectives that after he left Lyntell, he went to a bar called Twin Peaks and watched the basketball game, right? Right? So look, check this out. Why? Bars got cameras and whatnot and everything. They said that Robert was not on one single video at the bar that night at all. So out of all the cameras they had in there, they didn't get one video of this dude at this particular bar.
Now, common sense. Okay, I keep forgetting that common sense ain't common.
It ain't common.
But if you're going to, but okay, let's just think this through for just a moment. If you're going to commit a murder and you're going to give an alibi, I'm going to need you to at least have slid by that bar, ordered a drink, sat down,
go in that bitch, chuck a deuce. Yeah, chuck a deuce like, hey, y'all.
It'd be funny, like, look into the camera and be like, hey, I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Like, do something. Like, just do something.
This nigga completely just said, he created a whole alibi. And as soon as they checked it out, they said, this nigga lying. He wasn't even at the spot. Like, damn, you could have lied. Remember.
We're not condoning murder.
We are not condoning murder. We're not. But we're saying if you do it,
at least have your story.
Have your shit together. That's all we say.
The first thing they're going to do is they're going to check your
alibi. It's the first thing they check, dog. Yes.
And for him to have, just because you got a degree don't make you smart. Because, sir, you got a whole PhD and couldn't even get a lie together. See?
Hell no, ma. No.
Dumb as hell. So, and we're just going to back up just a bit. So, when Melissa, Lyntell's best friend, was interviewed, she gave them a little bit more information about Lyntell and Robert's relationship. So when Lyntell found out she was pregnant with a girl, like, she's super excited, and supposedly so was he. But then things kind of like started to shift, and Robert was starting to pull disappearing acts and kind of acting a little distant. And not long before Lyntell went missing, Robert told that he was going on a family reunion to Panama City, Florida. But this fool post a picture on social media and he's in fact on a cruise with his wife. Now that don't look like somebody who's about to leave his wife. That looks like a nigga who's on vacation with his wife. So of course Lyntell, she sees the picture and she calls her bestie pissed. So Lyntell, she do, you know what women tend to do sometimes. She do a little drive-by past Robert's house. And you remember this man told her he lives in this nice 2-story apartment. I mean, I'm sorry, 2-story house. And she pull up, this nigga live in a fucking trailer. Excuse me?
What?
So you said your wife live on one floor and you live on the other, sir. There's only one floor
This
in this
nigga is
trailer.
in the trailer?
Mm.
Look, I ain't gonna lie, some of the trailer be nice. I seen the
Yeah,
double wide.
but that's still not a two.
No, I agree.
Two up and down, up and down. You talking about she live on one floor and I live on the other.
Mm.
So Lyntell, she ends up sending Robert a text later that evening, like, look, and she said, quote, just keep it 100 with me. Do you really want me? Are you quitting to run away from your responsibilities with me and our unborn daughter? And that's a very valid question. Like, nigga, let me know what's up. Like, just give me the heads up. So she planned on airing Robert out to his wife because she's like, look, I'm not going to play these games with you and you're not going to come in my life and mess up my shit and then go on about your life. No, I'm going to let your wife know and I'm going to put your ass on child support. And before she went missing, she had asked Melissa if it was a good idea to meet Robert in person to talk because Robert had asked her if they could meet up to talk. And Melissa told her yes, so you can kind of see like where he's really coming from. And Melissa said that she carries that guilt with her because had she not told Lyntell to go, she may still be alive.
Mm. Yeah, that is. That's kind of fucked up. Like, to have that weight on you like that, yeah, that's crazy. So look, to get to the cell phone records, they were able to put more pieces of the puzzle together. So on the evening of June 8th, 2016, they first noted Lyntell's location and Robert's location both separate. But then they both come together and both phones are traveling together. Now, remember, he did say that they end up linking up. Remember, he said that they seen each other for like 30 minutes. Then he went on his own way, did what he had to do. So they end up going over to the desolate Paris near a shooting range, and they stayed there for a few minutes before moving back across Mississippi Bridge off of I-10. You ever been on that bridge?
I've never. You just asked me. I ain't never been to Louisiana.
Oh my God, that bridge! Yeah, it's a long. It's crazy. It's in the water. Like it's oh shit, scary as fuck. But anyway, so they stayed there for 30 minutes, as I said. So at some point, the tail phone goes offline. So like just goes completely off. Like somebody turned the phone off. And you can see Robert's phone along headed back to where Lyntell's car was found. His phone is then traced driving around, but he never went to that bar and eventually he ends up back home. So it looks like the nigga was lying. He was never at that Twin Peaks bar whatsoever. They believe that Robert met up with Lyntell and got in the car with her before he drove up to the shooting range. Remember, we talked about the shooting range that he was at. And that's where he shot her because since it's the shooting range, gunshots wouldn't be out of the ordinary. I didn't think about that. That's crazy as hell. That is,
That's
right?
probably the only smart thing that fucker did.
Only smart thing he did. So before he put the body back in Lyntell's car, he drove to Ibersburg Parish where he dumped her body in a ditch before driving back to the parking lot. They believe Robert threw her phone in a lake or something, and all of this happened while her daughter was in the backseat of the car. That's a dirty nigga right there, man. He deserved to have his Bucci cat taken. I'm just gonna throw it out there, right? I'm just saying it, right? So from there, they noticed that after Robert got back in the parking lot, it was on a motorcycle. How did he get back to it after Lyntell's car? Remember? How the fuck did he get?
Yeah, he said he was driving. They was in the car together.
Exactly, right? So they also noticed some communication on Robert's phone to another woman. And they come across Tremika Jackson. So then he got 3 hoes. He got his wife, he got old girl, and now he got Tremika.
They weren't hoes. We'll just call those.
I'm sorry, man. He got 3 women. I apologize. I didn't mean to offend nobody. He got 3 women right now. So he messed around with 3 women, and they don't know about each other. He got his wife, he got old girl, he got Tremika. Horrible situation. So she actually comes forward after seeing Robert on the news and accused of killing Lyntell. So imagine a dude that you kicking it with, right? That you think, everything going good, and you find out that he is actually being charged with a murder of another woman.
I don't want no part.
No parts, right? So she said she and Robert had been seeing each other, and she knew he was a doctor, but not a PhD in education. So the nigga lied to say he was a doctor.
Lying ass nigga.
He lied and said he was a doctor, right? He told Tramika that he was an actual physician. They had been testing all day back and forth the day of the murder, and that Robert had called her and she picked him up from the same area where Lyntell's car was found, and she drove him to his motorcycle. So she was the one that drove him to the motorcycle. Bank surveillance was pulled from the area. So it was a bank over there, and they pulled the surveillance camera from that bank, and it shows that Tramika distinctive Dodge Charger pulling up and Robert getting into the car. And if you actually look at the video, you can see, because those Dodge Chargers do have a distinctive, like the rear lights, and you can see it pull up, it's dark, and you can actually see a dude get inside of the vehicle, right? So you can see that. And the timestamps match up perfectly. So guess what? This nigga is caught.
But Tramika said she ain't want no smoke, okay? She said she ain't know nothing about Robert or Lyntell, and she just wanted to hand any and all information she had over because she want to help. She don't want to be implicated in shit.
No smoke.
So Robert's bail was set at $885,000.
Damn.
And this nigga actually posted the bail.
Well, goddamn. And he living in the trailer?
That's what he said.
God damn.
Now, at this point, everybody's on edge. Like, we don't know what this nigga's gonna do. If he went through all of this to get rid of her body and kill her, like, what else will he do? Will he harm Lyntell's daughter so she can't testify? So everybody's scared. So Robert's wife, Kayla, she goes and does an interview with Nancy Grace, and she's like, I am just so shocked, and I am appalled. Like, my Robert would never do something like this. And I didn't even know he was cheating.
Oh, damn.
And he ain't had not one girlfriend, baby, but he had two that we know of, which is wild. So it took almost 6 years for Robert Marks to make it to trial. So his trial started December 14th of 2021. And one reason the trial was delayed, well, this was the main reason his trial was delayed, was the defense argued that the deputies had no way of knowing where Lyntell's actual murder had taken place. They don't know for sure where she had actually been shot. So a judge did side with the defense, and then the case was moved to Ibersville Parish, where the body was found, and not in Baton Rouge, where he was going to originally be tried at. So then the Ibersville police, they had to literally rebuild this entire case from scratch. So in 2020, Iberville Parish grand jury indicted Robert Marks on second-degree murder, feticide, kidnapping, aggravated kidnapping of a child, obstruction of justice, and 4 counts of use of an illegal weapon. See, you should have stayed your ass where you was at because you ain't had that many charges.
Exactly, nigga.
See? So Lyntell's daughter was called to testify very early in the trial. They only asked her to identify her mother and to confirm that she was the little girl in the video. And then from there, the prosecution used the original interview that she did with the forensic interview her as her testimony. They didn't want to make her relive all of that all over again. So the coroner also testified that the unborn baby suffered no trauma and that doctors would have been able to safely deliver the baby since Lyntell was already in her 3rd trimester. So basically, the baby would have lived had he not killed her mother. Or if her mother had gotten help in time. So the defense argued that there was no murder weapon, and how could they take the testimony of a 3-year-old child? Like, that's all they had. That was it. Yep. That was all they had. They called no witnesses. Robert himself did not take on the stand. And after 4 days of testimony on December 17th, 2021, it took just over 30 minutes.
Why it take so short? Why it take so short? Why it take so short, girl? Go
Because
ahead.
they went in there, they was like, that nigga guilty, what we ordering for lunch.
Exactly.
They didn't even have time for the food to get there.
They didn't. God damn it. They would try to, they would have did it sooner, but they didn't know. You know what I'm saying? They're like, damn, so we ain't getting no food? No lunch?
They missed out on lunch that day. So when the jury came back with a guilty verdict, they said before the jury actually read the verdict, they said this nigga Robert just stood up and put his hands behind his back because he knew they
guilty.
He was guilty.
Yeah,
He knew what it was.
You already know what it is. So look, Robert Murphy was found guilty of 2nd-degree murder, feticide, kidnapping, aggravated kidnapping of a child, carjacking, obstruction of justice, and 4 counts of illegal use of a weapon. The defense was just utterly baffled at the outcome. They were sure they had created enough reasonable doubt that Robert would get off, right?
That was stupid too.
But you know what? That's kind of hard. That's like being a defense lawyer in a situation like that, because I mean, we saw the video, so we saw the lawyers. Like, y'all gotta know the nigga did it. Like, y'all gotta know he did it.
No witnesses. What reasonable doubt did you think you created because there was no weapon?
Yeah, I don't know. That's like that. Excuse me, being a lawyer is a definitely hard job to do. So look, after the guilty verdict, Kayla did go ahead and she divorced Robert. She said, fuck that. You know what I'm saying? Then nigga gonna be in jail. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna be able to bust me down. So she said, fuck it, divorce the nigga. He was sentenced to life in prison for the second-degree murder, no parole, right? 40 degrees for the kidnapping.
40 degrees?
Oh, 40, 40 years. I'm still talking about the fact that why even add any extra time? Let's back up. The nigga got life for the second-degree murder with no parole. Why add anything else?
Because it's traumatizing just to hear all.
But why? Like he's never getting out. Y'all like yeah, and this
like I feel like it's just like it really is adding insult to injury. Like you gonna feel that. Like
yes. And he's in jail for life, no parole. And then not 40 degrees, but 40 years for kidnapping. Then they put 15 years for the feticide. And guess what? Another 15 years for each of the 4 felony possession charges, which essentially comes out to life. Plus 115 years.
So nigga, you have to do life. Come
Why?
back,
3
do your life,
times.
do a life again, die again, and you probably still come back and got 15, 20 years on your
Like
shit.
God, yes. They stroked this nigga. I'm not mad though. I agree. You shouldn't do it. Look, hey, don't do the crime if you don't want to serve the time. So look, Robert immediately fired his defense team, and
because they was stupid too.
Yeah, nigga, I wonder
they didn't even damn try.
No, they should did a plea bargain.
It might not. That might not even have been on the table.
I would have did a plea bargain because
sometimes they don't want to even put that on the table.
No, we talked about that the last case. Like I if it was, I would have did a plea bargain. Like my nigga, he was trying to fight for his innocence. I'm trying to fight.
He wasn't innocent.
Yes, I'm trying to fight to get the less time. That's me, right?
I think he probably still would have got life.
I mean, not necessarily depending on depending on what he would agree with.
I don't know. They probably still would like it.
Yeah, they would have got a nigga life for and then parole up to 25 years or some shit like that.
I don't think they offered him a plea deal. I didn't see anywhere that they.
No. We know they didn't, but they probably didn't even try to ask for one. But look, check this out. So remember, he fired his old defense team. He hired a new one and filed for an appeal. His first appeal that he filed in June of 2021, but that was denied. He tried again in 2023, but there was an error found in the sentencing for the aggravated kidnapping, which they ended up vacating the kidnapping sentence. And it was remanded for a new sentencing, but all of the other charges stood. So even if he got off of that little kidnapping charge, it don't make a difference. The nigga's still serving life with no parole.
And all them other years, so would you take off 40 years off of that 115? Like,
yeah,
that
nigga, yes. Is that really accomplishment? That's something to clap your hands about? No, nigga, you are going to die in that bitch.
And then come back alive and then
die again. Yes. So look, even if he dies and come back, he still will have almost another full life sentence to serve. Robert is serving his sentence at Angola State Prison. And let me tell you guys, Angola State Prison is not for the weak at heart. They taking Bucci cats. They doing everything that you don't want to even imagine being done to you. It's hot, and they don't serve seafood. So I don't want to throw it out there. So that nigga they say that Angola is the worst prison, not in the state of Louisiana, but in the America. They say that's the worst prison, and that's where they got that boy locked up at. Dumbass. And he is a principal.
Well,
they take an educated Bucci cat. Educated Bucci cat. All right, go ahead.
So Lyntell's daughter, she's currently in the custody of her father, Darren. Darren did say that after Lyntell's death, it forced him to get his life together because he knew he was going to have to step up and be the father that his daughter would need. And his daughter is thriving. She still remembers her mom, although she misses her dearly. They say she's very smart, and she, of course, like all these kids, she loves to do TikToks. And as for Robert's wife, well, she moved on with her life as well. She said, fuck that nigga. And from what it looks like, she's living her best life, and she welcomed a baby in 2023. Good luck to her.
Yes, that nigga in jail right now. Dumbass. Damn. Ooh, okay, y'all. I appreciate y'all. Look, this was a hard one. We usually don't record this late, but we did this time just for y'all. So yes.
DeWitt, I got some words for you. This one had me in tears. Like this one was this was traumatizing.
Yes. So yes. So it's time for our favorite segment called
Love, Lies, and Alibis.
Alrighty. So this
Yes.
week's Love, Lies, and Alibis question of the week. Are you okay with your significant other going to the strip club?
And I found out some of y'all some freaks, man. I ain't gonna lie, man.
So before you do that, how do you
I
feel
know that.
about your
I got it.
significant other going to the strip club?
I don't know. So all right. I'm not in the strip clubs. Like that's never been my thing. So that's never really been my thing. So like for me, I'll be looking at like what the fuck is like what's the purpose? You know what I'm saying? Would I be mad? I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I really don't know until I'm put in that situation. Me personally, I'm not really I'm not really into strip clubs. So, they ain't gotta worry about me. What about you?
I mean, they said bands will make a dance.
Oh shit. Okay.
I say I done been to a few strip clubs. I mean, I went
Have you
to
been with like a dude you was kicking it with?
yeah. Me and the youngest one's daddy. We were together. We went to KOD in Miami.
How was he acting?
Oh Lord, child, he tried to take a stripper home with
He
me.
did.
Yes,
He did.
He sure did. That nigga must have been drunk as shit because I forgot all about that. And yeah, I forgot that nigga sure did trying to take a stripper home with us. I was like, I know it's my birthday and all, but baby,
You doing too much, dog. You
yeah.
doing too much. Oh, this nigga was trying.
I've been to Magic City. I done been to a lot of strip clubs in Atlanta. I've been to Onyx. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've been
Yeah,
to
I don't know
our
what
little
it.
janky ass strip clubs in
Yeah,
Cleveland
I'm not.
Secrets.
Yeah, I'm not really. I have never really been there. I told you that. I mean, I
I
told
agree.
this story before that I was actually in a strip club and had no idea I was in a strip club. So that's just really not my cup of tea. So, all right, let's see what some of our listeners. I know,
All
right?
right, so let's see. Alexis says, "Shit, me and my husband's first date was at this lounge that apparently turned into a strip club on certain nights, and that night being one, so we made it an anniversary tradition. And I don't know about other cities, but Atlanta strip club wings be busting, and I honestly be more upset at him for going alone and eating than I am about him seeing these hoes."
Damn. Who said that?
Alexis.
Oh shit.
Okay, so Tiana says, "Sure, you can look, but don't touch, and take me with you the next time. I love a butt naked hoe club."
I ain't gonna lie, I'm really surprised at some of these answers. Like,
I'm just saying, it's just a fantasy. Like to me, it's like
no, but I would think that some people would really be kind of like hesitant to let their significant other to go to somewhere where it's gonna be a naked woman. Because half of these women ain't built like these women.
If you gonna cheat, baby, you gonna cheat regardless. That ain't got nothing to do with you going to the strip club. Like
But some people, I get what you're saying, but like you're dealing with a situation where you got these women that's built nice, and then some of these.
Then I remember that's you have a self-esteem issue. Like
I agree. Okay.
I mean, because when we was in Atlanta, I was like, God damn, these bitches got some ass. Like I mean, it just. But
my thing is,
that don't intimidate me. Like
So for me, I never really been into it because it's like I feel like what's the purpose of me putting a down payment on some coochie that I'm not taking home? Like
I think it's just like a fantasy. Like it's just something fun to do. Like I just
giving up money, tipping females.
Look here, you know me. I'm like just like when I go to the casino, I'm gonna go withdraw a certain amount of cash. When that's gone, all right, that's it. I'll holler at y'all next time. I'm not for literally just throwing away money just to do it.
Yeah, because I mean, it's literally throw away the money.
Yeah, like I say, it's like I just think like when I do, when I go to the casino, I might take out like $60. Like, all right, when that's gone, that's just it.
That's it.
That's it.
I get you.
So
that's it. What else? Who else said what else?
Let's see. Let's see who else. Roy said, "Hell yeah! After 20 plus years, shit, we can go. She can go, or I can go. People be cheating in parking lots. I mean, you can't stop the willing, and that's true.
Damn.
They gonna cheat. They gonna cheat." And Christina said, "No, because we got strip clubs at home."
So that was saying. So women like to see other women.
It's fun.
Well, what is fun about it?
Man.
That's what I'm saying. So is it like a attracted type situation? Like, do women be attracted to see other women dancing?
No, I don't know. I just think it's just fun. Like, I'm not attracted to other women. I mean, like I said, if you got a big ass, you got a big ass. If you got a nice body, you got a nice body. I mean, that
It's just so
is what
crazy
it
the
is.
shit that women can do, but niggas do it. A nigga be like, yeah, I'm going to a gay dude strip club. I'm going to a strip club with niggas and I'm smacking niggas' ass. Nigga, you gay.
So did I tell you how the other week we were supposed to be going to brunch? Me and my homegirl, we were supposed to be going to brunch. So we get out there, and the one place we were supposed to go to, it was packed.
Mm-hmm.
I look up, she said, so her brother was like, we can go to this other spot right down the street. So I'm like, shoot, as long as they got food, I don't even care. We sit down. I'm like, what, reserved for the drag brunch? I was like, wait, where y'all got me at? Oh my God.
They had you at the Blue Oyster. God damn.
They had me at the drag brunch, and all I'm gonna say is one of the drag people had real boobs and took her shirt off and had her boobs just swinging. I was like,
she had titties? He had titties?
yes.
God damn, they
And I was like,
they put titties on them now.
I was like, I just wanted some mimosas and some food. I was just
and
like,
you got a face full of titties. Huh? So look, Darnita said, I don't mind as long as we can go together sometimes, and we can't be going every night.
yeah, because I said, you ain't about to be now. Every once in a while it's cool, but you ain't about to be spending our bill money at the strip club, okay?
Yes, Vivi said, absolutely. What?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I'm pulling up with him so I can learn a few moves.
That part too. Shoot, do some might learn some new tricks. Like when we had went to Magic City, like I mean, they was up there like it was Cirque du Soleil, like it was a show.
It was a whole show.
It was a whole show, and I was just like, I'm sitting there like, huh? Like I mean, it was actually like a real life show. I thought it was fun. So let's see, we'll do
two more. We do two more. Yeah. Yvette, cousin Yvette. Yes, cousin Yvette. Yvette was actually on our panel, man. She was hilarious. About that in a second. I know. I just said she was hilarious. She said, I want to say I'm cool with it every once in a while, but deep down, I know I'm a catch an attitude. I respect that. That's the J. Yes. She said, I'm going to catch an attitude with it. She knows she ain't trying to see a girl shaking her ass in her nigga face. I don't know how women could be okay with that. Because if it could be caught Diesel, Butch nigga, shaking his Johnson in my girl face, I might feel a certain way.
I will not go to a male strip club, but I think male strippers are absolutely disgusting. Like, why is your dick floppy? I don't, yeah.
You said, why is it floppy?
Yes, like, I don't know. Like, I would not go to a male strip club.
She said, why is your dick floppy?
Yeah,
what?
I don't know. Like it just, I don't like male strippers. So we go to the booty club, but baby, don't take it. You said we want to see male strip. No, I'm not going.
They not trying to see sexual chocolate. That's what she's saying. Not trying to see sexual chocolate. All right, and one more. Christina Marie said, yep, we sure can go together. So she said she down to go with her man. You know what I'm saying? Again, to each his own, man.
I mean, like that, but it's like I think when you go as a couple, when you get home, you about to have a time when you get home. So I think
not as you Yvette said she got attitude. She like, so let me ask you a question. Like you already know what's going on when a woman say, can I ask you a question? So do you like that bitch? And then at the end of the night.
The thought never crossed my mind. Like when we've done it, like that thought never crossed my mind. Like I told you that nigga was trying to take a bitch home.
He's
like,
so
she straight playing because she was like, nigga, you can't afford me. I was like, ooh.
Oh, I look. Like, well, goddamn. Okay, so look, that's our Love Lies and Alibis. Remember, we post up on Tuesdays. Leave your answers, and we will read them. You know what I'm saying? We fuck with y'all, so make sure y'all leave your answers. All right, what we got? What's up?
All right, so like Willie has brought up several times.
I brought up one time. Don't do that shit.
Whatever. We had our very first Love Lies and Alibis panel. For it to be our very first panel, I think everything went really well. The conversation was hot. The tea was piping. It was juicy. We had some very good commentary. Everybody was very respectful. It was just a really good time. So the replay is available. It's on Spotify, and eventually it'll be on YouTube. I don't know. YouTube been acting up, so it is on Spotify, so check it out. Let us know what you think. We plan to do another one maybe closer to the fall. We'll see how things go, but we'll make the announcement when we do another one.
Yeah, it was good. Hey, look, let real quick, we enjoyed ourselves. That shit was lit, man. When I say everybody that joined and took the time to answer questions, man, I really appreciate y'all because it was nice. It was no hold back. It was niggas was not afraid to say what they want to say. You know what I'm saying? That nigga was not afraid.
And that's exactly how we wanted it. We wanted it raw, we wanted it uncut, and we touched on some very good topics and things that, like, that we all deal with in dating and relationships and marriage and engagements. And it really was a good conversation. Like, I really loved it.
Yeah, shout out to Crystal too. Crystal, that's
Yeah, Crystal. Oh yeah,
Crystal
that's
Crystal Trent with your scissoring ass.
yeah. So yeah, y'all. Yes, it was definitely a time, and we cannot wait to do it again. So you wanna go speak on Khadijah?
Oh yes, Khadijah. Make sure you guys check out episode 9 of Khadijah. Again, we ride for our girl, man. We are get in contact with us. We are gonna actually start doing a hashtag for her. We still working on that, so we're gonna let you guys know. But we're gonna do a hashtag that I want you guys to make sure that you guys post anytime you put, you know what I'm saying, something within our page or whatnot. Her mom is, she got like one more week before she go to court to
No,
get grant.
she goes to court this coming week. So
Oh, this
just
week.
make
Oh shit.
yes,
Okay.
this week. So
Yes.
just make sure you say a prayer for her.
Yes, say a prayer for her because she's just trying to get grandparents right. She just want to be able to see her grandkids. She haven't seen her grandkids in almost a year and a half, almost 2 years. So she want to be able to see her 4 grandbabies or whatnot. So that's why she going to court. So make sure you guys check out episode 9. She does have a GoFundMe up. You can definitely donate $1, $2, just something that'll help her out. You know what I'm saying? To try to get the legal representation. Because again, like we said, we are not saying that she's supposed to be free. We are saying that justice needs to be served the right way. The crime that she committed does not match up with the time that they gave her, which was for almost 40 years, when she should have got a charges for a manslaughter. So that's it.
Okay, and then like I said, if you would like to participate in the Love Lies and Alibis question of the week, head over to our Facebook group. It is a private group. It's called Love Lies and Alibis, the Melanin Mysteries discussion group. Just make sure you answer all the questions so you can get in, because we will deny you if you don't. Also, just where you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook under Melanin Mysteries Podcast. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us for this long. Just make sure you leave us a 5-star review if you are enjoying the show. Like I said, we really appreciate it. And I say ad space is still available. You can always send us an email at podcast@melaninmysteries.com. Also, if you have case suggestions, we love to see them. You can leave them in the Facebook group. You can message them to us. You can email us. However you would like to get that over. We are working through a whole list of cases. So we will get to it at some point. Like I said, I'm trying. Because unfortunately, there's just so much domestic situations going on. Like, we have cases for years. And I know a couple people had mentioned that they wanted us to cover a specific case, and I just wanted to say, like, the cases that involve the murder of children are very, very hard to cover. So I try to keep those cases spaced out pretty far. So that is a reason why a couple of cases have not been covered yet, because like I said, I just try and keep those spaced out kind of far. And don't forget, we will be having our 1-year anniversary here, July 12th. We will be in Cleveland. It is a free event. It's picnic style, family friendly. Bring your kids, bring everyone. We're gonna have free food and drinks. We're gonna have entertainment. Like, it's just gonna be a whole time. We just want to give our thank you to you all for rocking with us this long. We greatly appreciate it. June 12th, we will be in Atlanta with the Infamous Ones for Kay's meet and greet at Margaritaville. I believe her tickets are sold out. And our favorite country girl, Renee Davis, will be there as well. And if you have been living under a rock these last couple weeks, if you have not gotten hip to the BTCC, which is the Black True Crime Collective, it includes us, Melanin Mysteries, your favorite country girl, Renee Davis, A Sip of Red Rum with Brittany and Deja, the Infamous Ones with Kay, and Not My Brother's Keeper with King Arthur. We make up the Black True Crime Collective. And we also have a Facebook group. You can find us under BTCC, as well as on Instagram, same thing. And we will be making an announcement here coming soon. So like I said, we just really appreciate everything. And That's all I got. You got anything else?
No, I'm good.
All right. So just make sure you remember that life should never. Wait, hold on. Why did I forget it? Love should never come with a life sentence. So make sure you choose freedom and not felonies.
We've been drinking, y'all, so forgive us. All right, take it easy. Oh.